Right, in this example we're going to be looking at how to rationalise the denominator when it's not made up of just a single term. This question's got 3 parts to it, and we'll take it in turns so that I have a go at part and then you have a go at a part. This first one isn't actually rationalising the denominator, but it is crucial to the process of being able to do that. So we're going to expand 2 plus root 7 multiplied by 2 minus root 7. So we have previously expanded brackets like this, but these type are a special case that I want you to be aware of. So let's expand it. We've got 2 times 2, which is 4. We've got 2 times negative root 7, which is minus 2 root 7. We've got root 7 times 2, so plus 2 root 7. And then we've got root 7 times minus root 7, which is minus 7. Notice that the middle 2 terms will cancel out. So all we're left with is 4 minus 7, which is negative 3. So in this example, the surd parts cancelled out with each other. And the relationship between these 2 brackets has a special name. 2 minus root 7 is called the conjugate of 2 plus root 7. It's where we change the sign of one of the terms. It doesn't matter which term you change the sign of, as long as it's just one that you've changed the sign of. And we can actually use these conjugates in order to help us rationalise the denominator. Before we have a go at that though, here's a similar set of brackets for you to test yourself on. Pause the video and then come back and check your solution against mine. Welcome back, here's my solution then. In case you didn't get it right, I'll go through it really quickly. We've got 5 plus root 3 times 5 minus root 3. 5 times 5 is 25. We're going to have 5 times negative root 3, which is minus 5 root 3. Root 3 times 5 is plus 5 root 3. And root 3 times minus root 3 is minus 3. The surds cancel. 25 minus 3 is 22. Okay, let's have a look at part B then. Okay, let's have a look then at how we can use the conjugate to rationalise the denominator. We've got 3 over 8 minus 2 root 3. So what we're going to do is, like in the last examples, we're still going to multiply by 1. But this time our 1 is going to be the conjugate of whatever we've got on the denominator here. So the conjugate of 8 minus 2 root 3 is 8 plus 2 root 3. So we multiply top and bottom by 8 plus 2 root 3. You may want to think of the top and bottom of each of these fractions as enclosed in brackets. So here we've got 3 times 8 plus 2 root 3 in brackets. So on the numerator, we're going to get 3 times 8, which is 24, and 3 times 2 root 3, which is 6 root 3. On the bottom, we're not going to write out all of the working out because we know if we multiply 8 minus 2 root 3 by its conjugate, the surd parts will cancel, which will leave us with 8 times 8, which is 64. And then minus 2 root 3 times 2 root 3. It's a negative times a positive, so it's negative. 2 times 2 is 4. And root 3 times root 3 is 3. So we end up doing 4 times 3, which is 12. This will simplify though. First of all, we'll just do 64 minus 12, which gives us 52. And then we can divide top and bottom by 2 to get 12 plus 3 root 3 over 26. Okay, here's one for you to try for yourself then. Pause the video and then come back and check your solution against mine. Welcome back, here's my solution. Well done if you got it right. You might want to skip ahead a few seconds to the next part of the question. Otherwise, I'll go through my solution now. So we have 4 over 1 plus root 3. The conjugate of 1 plus root 3 is 1 minus root 3. So that's what we'll times top and bottom by. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times negative root 3 is negative 4 root 3. On the bottom, remember the surds will cancel, leaving us with 1 times 1, which is 1, and root 3 times negative root 3, which is negative 3. Simplifying the denominator gives us negative 2. Both parts can be divided by 2, which gives us minus 2 plus 2 root 3. You could stop there if you wanted, but sometimes it's conventional not to have a leading term that's negative, so we could write it as 2 root 3 minus 2. You don't have to do that last step though, that's optional. Right, let's have a look at a slightly more complicated one in part C then. Okay, part C is slightly harder then. We've got 2 terms on the top and the bottom of each fraction. We need to express 9 root 2 minus 8 over 3 root 2 minus 5 in the form a plus b root 2. So that looks like everything will cancel down nicely then. Let's get started. So as before, we need to multiply by the conjugate of 3 root 2 minus 5. However, unlike the last example, we're going to reverse the sign of the whole number rather than reversing the sign of the surd. So it doesn't matter which sign you reverse as long as it's only one of them. So we're going to multiply top and bottom by 3 root 2 plus 5. We didn't have to do it that way. We could have reversed the sign of the 3 root 2, but then we would have had minus 3 root 2 minus 5. And I would personally prefer to work with 2 positive numbers rather than 2 negative numbers. Let's start multiplying out the top. We've got 9 root 2 times 3 root 2. 9 times 3 is 27. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. We've got 9 root 2 times 5. That gives us plus 45 root 2. We've got minus 8 times 3 root 2. That's minus 24 root 2. And we've got minus 8 times 5, which is minus 40. On the bottom, remember the surds cancel, so we're going to get 3 root 2 times 3 root 2. 3 times 3 is 9. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. And minus 5 times 5 is minus 25. Let's tidy this up a bit. On the bottom, we've got 18 minus 25, which is negative 7. And on the top, 27 times 2 is 54. Minus the 40 is 14. 45 root 2 minus 24 root 2 is 21 root 2. And let's have a look at these. We need to get it in the form a plus b root 2. Really convenient that there's a factor of 7 which goes into all of this. So we're actually going to divide by negative 7. So here, 14 divided by minus 7 is minus 2. And 21 root 2 divided by minus 7 gives us minus 3 root 2. So in this case, we don't have to specifically write this down, but the a is the value on its own. A is minus 2. And the b is the number outside the square root, is minus 3. Okay, here's a problem for you to try for yourself. Pause the video and then come back and check your solution against mine. Welcome back, here's my solution then. If you got it right, well done, move on to the next part of the lesson. Otherwise, I'll go through my solution now. Okay, so we have 7 root 3 minus 2 over 3 root 3 minus 4. We need to multiply by the conjugate of 3 root 3 minus 4. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 3 root 3 plus 4. So on the numerator, 7 root 3 times 3 root 3. 7 times 3 is 21. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. We've got 7 root 3 times 4. That's 28 root 3. We've got negative 2 times 3 root 3. That's negative 6 root 3. And we have negative 2 times 4, which is negative 8. On the bottom, the surds will cancel. We're going to end up with 3 root 3 times 3 root 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. And negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. Let's tidy up the denominator first. 9 times 3 is 27, minus 16 is 11. And then on the top, we've got 63 minus 8, which is 55. We've got 28 root 3 minus 6 root 3 is 22 root 3. And then very conveniently, we can spot that 11 goes into everything. So dividing by 11 gives us 5 plus 2 root 3. If you want, you can write down that P equals 5 and Q equals 2.